knows? I can't see anything. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Start virtual camera, what does that mean? Start recording. Do I need to record? He didn't leave me any instructions. Hello. I'm going to type something. I'm not even logged in. What's going on? Right. I can't do that. All right. How do I not do that? Oh, I can't do it. Refresh that. There we go. Apparently it's on. Okay, I've got a message saying that Broken Bottle Boy is now live. Well, he's not. You've got me instead. I'm the person in the room and I'm doing today's show. Now, there's a big black box on the screen. Is that supposed to be? Hang on. She fucks around with things. She finds out. Oh my God, there it is. Okay, cool. He had the camera thing down. Is there anyone that? Yay! I made it work somehow. Okay, right. I'm not going to touch anything else. Hi, welcome to the show. Yeah, Person in the Room Takeover. It's no longer called The Paper Thing, it's called The Person in the Room Takeover. Because Mick has fecked off to the cinema with his mummy to watch the Bond film. I have zero interest in watching the Bond film, so I get to do this instead. Okay, it may be shorter today because I don't know what I'm doing. I've never seen this software before, but you know, I do technology for a living, so hopefully that will work out. Okay, I don't know if I'm supposed to do anything else. Oh, fuck it, let's go for it. Right, okay. There are 4 papers today. We have The Times, we have The Mirror, we have the Daily Mail, and we have The Guardian. We do not have The Sun because I refuse to be an accomplice to buying The Sun, so I specifically requested that we do not have that. I'm sorry that we don't have the tabloid thing. Mark Kennedy says, do what you want, just try not to get the account shut down. Yeah, I mean, I'm not allowed to libel anyone, slander, I suppose, if it's spoken, and I don't think I can broadcast anything pornographic. Okay, it limits our options, but just let's go for it. I agree, C122, H122, the Sun is scum indeed. So, first up, The Times. Okay, so the headline in The Times today, look, it has not been coloured in yet because Mick was too busy this morning. The headline today is all Britain's electricity to be green by 2035. I have messaged my friend who works at National Grid to see if this is true. She's not yet got back to me. She's a bit busy. Anyway, very nice. Huge if true, as they say. So, well, they won't they. Also on the front page, leak reveals financial secrets of world leaders. These are the Pandora Papers. And lots of people are getting their finances washed in public. So that'll be interesting to read through. Dow Jones 342, how many bits for a libel? Don't know. Right. Inside on page 2, Sunak pledges £500 million to help furloughed workers find jobs. Great. EU given deadline to save Northern Ireland Protocol. I have many thoughts on Northern Ireland and Europe. And if I start ranting about it now, I won't have time to go through all the papers. So let's just say, sort it out, lads. Flying paramedics to the rescue. Jetpacks are being used for mountain rescue, which sounds nice. This could transform the work of mountain rescue teams, which would be a really cool thing. And also, you know, it's the future we were all promised. We were all promised jetpacks, and I think that's good. On page 3, there's also this novelist bans his own book from Amazon. This is Dave Eggers, who's decided that that Amazon shouldn't be allowed in on his new book, and so has made sure that you cannot purchase his new book on Amazon. But the small caveat further down the paragraph is that only applies to the hardback, and you'll be able to buy the paperback on Amazon. So, you know, nice gesture, mate. Yeah. Okay. Apparently, the rain is on its way, but after the rain, we may have some sunshine. Woo woo. That's nice. Being in Northern Ireland now is fun. Well, yeah, because my parents are doing fine. You know, no shortages, no petrol crisis. Shelves are all full. There's the tiny bit of COVID running out of control, but you know, it's God's own country, and it's a really nice place. Okay, weaker rules on new songs could kill the radio star. I haven't read this, so I don't actually know. Blah 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 blah. Let's see. Quotas for new music could change, and something happens. I'm terrible at this compared to me. He knows all this sort of stuff. Sunshine After the Rain. Yes, there should be a really good song about that. In fact, there is indeed a lovely nursery rhyme about a spider climbing up a drain pipe. Former BBC News executive helps Huawei rebuild its image in the West. Okay, this is interesting. So a former BBC News executive has joined Huawei, Gavin Allen, as executive editor-in-chief after being made redundant from the BBC. And he said he's hugely proud to be joining a technology company that is, his words, a creative force for good. That's Huawei he's talking about. A couple of years ago, I was asked to sit on a tech panel on ethics and AI, and the panel was sponsored by Huawei, and I had to explain to the organisers why I wouldn't be sitting on a tech ethics panel sponsored by that company in particular. What else? Tiny mention in the side. PC charged with rape, which is about this latest case to come out of the Met with yet more violence against women. But tiny paragraph, not really worth mentioning. Oh, Huawei is good. Oh, we're spraying diesel over everything now. Are we? Is that what we do? I support Huawei on anti-imperialist ground. Go for it. Also, a horrible story on page 5 about a man who murdered a woman during sex and claimed it was the sex getting out of control defence, which comes across as complete bullshit, because I will not have any kink shaming. At the same time, that was very clearly someone murdering someone else. Okay, Army veteran 80 to stand trial over Trouble's death. This is the ongoing story of the soldiers who were involved in the death of John Pat Cunningham back in 1974, a man with learning difficulties who was shot in the back, running away from men in uniform he was scared of. That is a complete mess up of a trial, and yeah, of course the government are very keen to say about we shouldn't prosecute soldiers for the things they've done in the past. Yeah, we should actually. We should hold people accountable. If you kill people, you kind of should be held accountable. Maybe I'm just one of those woke lefty types. I don't know. Anyway, ministers mull council tax rise to plug social care black hole. Because what we need right now is the council tax rise. Oh, Mark Kenosis is saying I can think of one way that a soldier could avoid having to stand trial, but he won't say it here. Council tax is not enough that they come after your national insurance, now they're coming after your council tax, etc, etc. Prepare for shortages until Christmas, warns Johnson. Oh God, I am. I just am. And then we have a little piece down here about the pig farmers accusing the Prime Minister of not taking the cull seriously. Today's newsletter is all about that. If you go to @BrokenBottleBoy on Twitter, you can see the newsletter in full. It's actually a good newsletter, and I didn't even proofread it this morning. Often I proofread just for those spelling mistakes. I never get a credit, I never get a byline. But yes, there you go. Ooh, contentious talk in the chat about what we should do with war criminals. What else is going on? Accountancy bosses, right, so at PwC, accountancy bosses have been given lessons in the menopause. So apparently they've got a strategy in place for women to get extra support going through the menopause. As someone of a certain age, an angry woman of a certain age, I am fully in favour of this, and I think there should be more things like that, and then there might be less homicidal women in organisations like me. Page 11, Blair's saved £312,000 in stamp duty deal. I mean, I just want to point out that I can't even afford a £312,000 house, and that's how much money they get taken off their purchase. Fuck 'em. Right. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, virtual therapy, risk to mental health. Okay, this is interesting because I'm actually on a research project on this. And it's actually about virtual appointments. I'm not quite doing that. Interesting. Going to read that later in more detail. Skimming it for now. Right. Women's league in turmoil over abuse. So the top women's football league in the US has been plunged into chaos following claims that a British coach harassed and sexually abused players and was able to continue despite allegations. I mean, it's no fucking surprise. Why are we ever surprised? Pro pig farmer stream. Yes, it is. Thank you, Helen Moore 2401. It absolutely is. We are follow back pro pig. Quango part-timers earn more than PM. Yeah, the PM's basic salary. If you don't include all the shit that comes in from elsewhere, the man's rolling in it. But cry me a river because he can't afford childcare. Most students happy they took GCSEs as long as they passed, says the Times on page 19 in a "oh really, how amazing that that's the case" type survey. So nearly 2 in 5, or 39% of young people, felt they had taken too many GCSEs. The survey of about 1,000 young people found that 73% were glad they'd taken their GCSEs, and the people who scored more highly, the people who got the better grades, thought the GCSEs were good things. Amazing. Young people, I hate those, says Yusuf Weapon. Ditto. I don't actually. That's not true. That's really quite unfair. I should reevaluate that. I hate surveys more. Yeah. Google's got this double-page spread on how it's good for your family. It's spying on you. Maternity midwives are quitting in droves, so that's not good. A big page. They're all big pages. A page here, page 23. The best show on TV is back, and it was worth the wait. This is about Succession. I haven't watched Succession. If Mick was doing this stream, he'd tell you how amazing Succession is, and probably give you lots of really genuinely valuable insight into media families. Whereas all I do is sit on my arse watching reruns of Gilmore Girls. I cannot tell you anything about Succession. He tells me it's good. Oh yeah, it's this one. It's a Claire Frodge's one on how students are too woke. Okay, this I do have opinions on because I am working in a higher education establishment. So blah 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 blah. It says blah 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 blah. Everyone is too woke. That's essentially the gist of the story. I can paraphrase like that because it's my job to impart knowledge in such a format. Okay, what I really liked was when she wrote, most obviously, woke intolerance is doing long-term damage to young people's ability to think independently. Let me tell you, as someone who has been a lecturer for, how many years now? Loads. 15 years, 16 years, that young people's ability to think independently does not come fully formed the minute they set foot through the university doors, and we're quite lucky if they get to the end of third year being able to think independently. And quite often when students come to me and they say, what can I do to get a first, I have to say, I can't tell you because it involves thinking independently, and if I told you what you had to do to get a first, you wouldn't be independent thinking. So yeah. Yusuf Wormans is worried that woke gremlins aren't fitting my uni. I know, it's shocking that people might actually want things like trigger warnings because they don't want to sit through really distressing material. That's perfectly fine. I have no problem with trigger warnings. No, it's Claire Frodge's. Hi, Red Tixied. Yes, it is me, the substitute pawn-shop version of Mick in female form. Trevor Phillips has done a very Trevor Phillips piece on why we don't need Bond to be black or female. It's pretty much what you would expect, except there is quite a reasonable sentence that says, the truth is that there won't be many black actors who want to portray a mildly psychotic latter-day imperialist thug. Seems reasonable. The rest of it's all kind of stuff around that. It's like, really. Use of weapons? No. I will report back to the actual teacher. I'm watching you. Okay. James Marriott, the fetus child of the Times, is moving bedrooms. He's got a piece out about how he's moving, but only to the next room. He's swapping with his flatmate, so there's more room for his girlfriend, because his girlfriend's moving in. You wouldn't know his girlfriend. She goes to different school. She's from Canada. Right. Libby Purvis says that the workers we depend on deserve better pay. However, this is a piece in the Times. Therefore, there's probably some caveat that says not all workers or something like that. So, but I agree with the headline that yes, the workers we depend on do deserve better pay. Oh no, there's flicking of paper clips and you're going to like take the pen bit out of the biro and do spitballs. Yeah, don't be at it. Okay, there's the letters page. I did promise to do letters page with at least one stupid voice. I might do it, maybe not for the Times. So here is a very handy tip for today. It's in the Times, so it must be true. Two-tone lawns. Sir, Carol Midgley is concerned at dozens of brown splodges on the lawn caused by the dog voiding her bladder. There is a solution. A splash of tomato ketchup in dog food sorts out staining on lawns from dog urine. Thank you, Max Wildsmith from Long Sutton. That's useful to know. Please put ketchup on your dog's dinner and you won't get pee bleaching on the lawns. The other one that I saw that was interesting, there is a letter from Professor J.R. Shackleton, and he writes, "Sir, it is reasonable that universities should require students to assent to policies on academic referencing and plagiarism." I'm with you so far, Professor J.R. Shackleton. It's very important that students understand referencing and plagiarism and things like that. It is at least arguable that they should be given advice on sexual consent. No, it's very arguable that they should be given lessons on sexual consent. Though all adults are deemed responsible for obeying the laws on hundreds of matters from murder to speeding and are not normally required to take courses on them. Yeah, but all adults are, like, there's a great amount of people out there who need that reminder. So thank you, J.R. Shackleton. But anyway, we get to his main thrust, which is, it is wrong if students are in effect being asked to assent to, for example, definitions of equality that are highly contestable. He means contestable by him. And difficult to put into operation. He means put into operation by him. And yet carry significant implications. I would like to point out that Professor J.R. Shackleton is from the University of Buckingham. The University of Buckingham is one of 9 private universities in the UK, and it also ranked 123rd out of 130 universities in the UK. So Professor J.R. Shackleton can fuck off. Buckingham is a fake university, use of weapons. Okay, now I've got to look at the... Yeah, I agree that the fetus doesn't have a girlfriend. Mark, can I say thank you? That is indeed one of my specialisms, sexual consent with robots. Do you have to consent to have sex with a robot? The answer is no, because a robot can't consent because it is just a machine. But also, maybe, it's great. Read my book for more on this. I love drilling into these things. Okay. Where are we now? Oh, 15 minutes in and I'm still in the Times. Whistleblower to accuse Facebook of failing to stop fake news. Well, no surprise there. Oh, yeah, I know what I was going to do. I was going to show the Times 2, because Mick always forgets to do the Times 2. And the Times 2 is my little bit of daily complete and utter fluff. And today it's about... It's very perky. No petrol, but we've got crumpets. And how to enjoy the autumn of discontent. Because you can all just be... All the misery just goes away if you eat a crumpet. Also here, don't be a smug hashtag autumn man, which, completely contradicts this part of the cover. Anyway, you've got to ditch the florals. The only mask is black. Okay, so just so you know. And men, you should change how you behave around women, says Kevin Maher. That's very observant of him. A style guide for autumn. If you're in Paris at some fashion thing, you should wear a black mask. If you're an autumn man, you'll wear cozy jumpers. Harry Wallop won't turn his heating on. Oh, the problem page, right. So, Professor Tanya Barron, who always looks like completely... like really, really cool. Like she's just going to go and hang out at a gig somewhere and go outside for a smoke and look really cool all the time. So, I hear you, C122, H122 on the trypophobia thing, because I also have that. So yeah, anyway, Professor Tanya Barron's thing. My husband and I are in our 60s and have been married for 20 years. The gist of it is, she's a tidy person. He's the opposite, he leaves his stuff out. When she asks him to do something, he says, when I'm finished, it's not a priority. So a cycle of nagging begins. That's her words. And he has a very bad temper and won't apologise. And he said terrible things. And he won't do the housework. And Tanya replies that women do more than twice as much unpaid domestic and care work as men. We knew this anyway. And, unfairly burdened with household chores. And women have been socialised to be homemaker. All stuff that we know. This is true. And then she says about how to address this. So she says to the woman... Maybe you're shooting yourself in the foot. You like an organised and tidy home, but are your expectations different from your husband's? Now, this is very, on the one hand this, on the other hand that thing, because what I would say is, it's horrible living in a shithole, and if her husband doesn't like it, doesn't like being asked to contribute to actual everyday life, and try and, pull his weight, then he should fuck off. And I don't have time for this whole maybe you should coax them into doing some nice things, and maybe if you're really lucky, you can do a shared task of dividing up the household stuff. Bullshit. Anyway, yeah, that's just annoyed me. A black mask and a cozy jumper, Mark Canosis. You are bang on trend according to times 2, and everyone knows that times 2 is where the style is at. Yeah. Leave treats. Quillifarm says leave treats around the useless man like a dog. That's a good idea. Yes, I would simply approve of you tidying up. I think that's great. Yes, it's a full page just to say dump the fucker after 20 years of marriage. Because this is the time when she could be like, she could spend the last years of her life in blissful solitude. Cut that bit out when Mick comes to review this. Hot films to see. Haven't heard of any of them. Oh, apart from Belfast, which I kind of not sure I want to see. Don't know. We'll see. TV pages. I'm not even going to look at those because I don't really watch TV. I watch Gogglebox so that I don't have to watch TV. Gogglebox is so pure. I love it. What else? What's happening in the world outside of the UK? This is a notoriously fictional place. Belfast is about Belfast. Judi Dench is in it. Probably someone gets shouted at or shot. You know, that shit. So that's such a good song, the Orbit One. They came up with that after playing the art college there, apparently so. And I love Orbit One. Armagh's definitely made up. I don't know anyone who's been there in the past 10 years. Could well have gone. And beyond that, there's just this line, right? And then after that, it's like, here be dragons. I have a sister in Fermanagh, and I'm not entirely sure Fermanagh exists. Right. Yes, things are happening out in the world. Oh, this is really good. Okay, so nice positive story about the power of tech. Lego prodigy makes new arm for boy. So this guy, this guy's amazing. He was missing a forearm, so he started building himself prosthetics out of Lego when he was a kid, and now he's building these for other people, which is just flipping amazing. So when he was 5, he made his first prosthesis out of parts designed for a model helicopter, and yeah, he's the one who's got a YouTube site called Han Solo, which is really cool. So he's built a prosthesis for a Kazakh boy, and that's just lovely. I really like that. Tyrone is made up. No one goes to Tyrone. We're nearly done with the times. I know I have to do a speed run because I did this quite slow. Lots of other things. That thing about Morrison's, blah blah blah. Diversity on boards. Oh yeah, this is the one I wanted to do, and it says basically, embracing diversity on boards is more than fulfilling quotas. Okay, so I hear this all the time where we go, oh well, you know, it's really important we have quotas, but actually we should be appointing people on merit. And you're like, that's the fucking point. The point is you've appointed loads of fucking old white men, not on merit. So now we're trying to actually get merit in there. Jesus. So yeah, it's a spin on that. It's like, well, us being woke's okay, but we've also got to look at merit. We fucking are. Okay. Tough new pension rules could be a game changer. I don't even want to think about pensions because I'm an academic and our pension is, in a technically financial term, bollocks. No one on boards. Great idea. Great idea. We'll just let the companies run themselves via AI. It could never go wrong. What could possibly go wrong? There's the whole thing of startups around fertility testing, and then there's some people who are dead in the a bit section, and then there's sport, and I don't do sport. Okay. The Mirror. Well, I've got to speed run this. Let me get my phone to do a timer. No, actually, I can use Google because they're not spying on us. All right. Hey, Google. Set timer for 2.5 minutes.
Sure. 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, here it goes.
Now.
The silent virus victims, COVID mental health crisis, people are having panic attacks and thoughts of suicide. I don't think that's just necessarily linked to COVID. It's presumably the fact that we're living in a pandemic and everything is shit. Let there be flight. 54 countries to exit the red list. People ran the marathon yesterday in London. It was bloody brilliant. My friend Larson ran it. He did it in 4 hours 12 minutes. He took up running marathons in his 50s. He is awesome. Well done. Day 1 of Mirror's Vital Mental Health series. ICU work feels like what a soldier might experience. I don't actually doubt that. It's pretty grim. Conservative conference. Supply chaos could go on until Christmas. Yes, we knew that. You cannot guarantee you'll have any quality streaks by Christmas Day. PM live. Okay, look at this. PM's lies will come back to haunt him. No, they won't. No, they won't. They never do. PM says no to inquiry on Sarah killer. Johnson snubs demands of revet all cops now. It's just depressing as fuck. Bride who feared looking like Shrek in a dress loses half her body weight for the big day. The Mirror decides that is something to be applauded on unattainable standards for women's bodies. Something about Coronation Street, don't watch it. Model Emily. Robin Thicke groped me. They report this as if it's some kind of terrible thing, which it is, but they report it with her having no clothes on. Okay. Socialite, I wasn't drunk when I shot and killed a cop. That's that story from... I can't even remember where it was now. But yes, the one who's Andrew Ashcroft's girlfriend, former girlfriend, whatever. Okay. 6 men arrested over poaching. Wow. Rural communities are having concerns about poaching, and some men were detained and they found a rabbit. That women are dying in the streets. But a rabbit. Okay. Meet Barry the Bee Whisperer. He does bees. Fergie could testify in Andrew's sex case. Maybe you say that he wasn't any good. Boom, boom. Oh, look, time's up. I didn't even get any further than page 23. Basically, what else is in this? All right, thanks, Google. Stop. Coffee is linked to reduced risk of chronic liver disease. Great news. Have I got anything to worry about because one of my testicles is bigger than the other? If that was me, I'd be worried because I don't have testicles. I had a wild sex life and was wondering if that had anything to do with it. Nope. Overactive bladders. You can find all this on Google. Let's do this together. Go sober for October. No, that's when teaching starts. Boyfriend shows no interest in the baby we're expecting. Oh, bin him off now. He's not going to get any better once it's actually here. Sex is good, but it's always me who initiates it. Oh, bin her off. It's not going to get any better. Yeah. TV. Letters. Mostly it's people going, you can't trust the police, which is great because, you know, quite a lot of people were already saying that, but no one was listening to us. Okay. Sport. Right, okay. The Daily Mail. Okay. Oh no, use of weapons. It's probably fine. You know, I think that provided you're one, it's only one of your 3 testicles. If it's 2 of your 3 testicles, I'd be really worried about it. But okay. Police's social media sickness. An outcry over Sarah Everard tragedy grows. Mail reveals 1,000 officers probed over offensive online messages. Only 1,000? I suspect it's a lot more. I suspect that 1,000 is just happens to be the first 1,000 people they've looked at. C122 or 122. I would love to do an advice column. It would be... I mean, I would just mostly be telling people to bin their other halves. Okay. On the front we have Helen Mirren looking punk for a fashion show. Punk. Cressida ignored my alert over sexist text. A retired Metropolitan Police detective says she was ignored when she warned about a vulgar and sexist messaging group. Again, there can't only be one of these. They're all over the bloody place. So, yeah. Right. Yeah. Don't share foodie photos online. It's bad for the waistline. All right. So millennials. It's the millennials again. Not satisfied with eating all the avocados in the world, they're now posting pictures of their food on Instagram. No one else is. Just the millennials. Millennials regularly share images of food before eating them. Oh, but it's a controversial trend. Some restaurants banned it because it can disturb other customers and the food gets cold. I would like to know if that's actually true. is there actually a restaurant anywhere that's banned taking pictures of food? I mean, this is free advertising for them, so I'd be really freaking surprised if there were places banning you taking pictures of your food. PM, give Britain a pay rise. I mean, the audacity of this man to say something like, give Britain a pay rise, when they're actually now talking about upping council tax to pay for things, and our national insurance is already increased. Give Britain a pay rise. We'll take your money and we'll give it back to you as a pay rise. Bullshit. Is Liz the new Mrs. T? I mean, I don't have a lot of love for Liz Truss, but that's really fucking unfair. Right. Anyway. Petrol SOS for the southeast. The fuel chief warns that crisis is getting worse in hardest hit areas. So, yeah. Okay, this whole thing with the fuel crisis and the lorry drivers and everything. I was talking to a friend of mine who works in shipping, and she was saying in 2017 they had a meeting with the government, with the Department for Transport, who said that there was a looming HGV crisis because of the retirement of many HGV drivers. So they knew that this was coming back in 2017, and they did. Sweet fuck all. Yeah, exactly, recursive rows. Oh, you've never seen a picture of, I thought you were going to say, you've never seen a social media post from a member of your generation of their food in a restaurant. I mean, actually, no, I haven't. I've sent pictures of food in restaurants to my mom usually to go, look what I'm eating, but I don't actually post it on social media, do I? I don't think so. Weird coffee sometimes. Flu jab fights dementia. Okay, and something about Strictly, Gordon Ramsay's daughter is first for the chop. Sometimes. Vet all police. Yeah, please, that'd be great. They've got a picture of a Met officer who dressed as Jimmy Savile on his stag weekend. Yeah, don't get caught. Just how deep does sewer of misogyny run in our police? I mean, pretty deep. How long is this string? Right, my battle to expose this Hitler women. I mean, just this, every woman reading this going, we fucking told you so. We told you so. Half-term cheer as red list is to be slashed. That's great for those of you who can afford to go for holidays at half-term. I can't remember the last time I had a holiday that was going anywhere other than visiting my parents in Northern Ireland. Oh, hang on, this is good. This is good. Hopes for free HRT. Big cheer for the perimenopausal women. Woo, 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 woo. Like, get free HRT. I mean, this is only really applies in England because everywhere else prescription charges are pretty much waived, aren't they? I mean, you get free prescriptions in Scotland and Northern Ireland. Not sure about Wales. Think they might be free in Wales as well, are they? So it's really only England. Yeah. There. I get prescriptions for free because I have epilepsy, so I get my medication provided for free because I need to stay alive. It's quite useful. Could this Devlin village hold the key to our energy crisis? I don't know. Could it? It's a sleepy village near Barnstaple, and it does green energy. Okay. Oh, this is exciting. Marathon's back, and so is Matt. Aww. Just the cursed man. Ex-minister mocked as 40,000 racing capital. Disgraced Matt Hancock joined 40,000 runners for a long-awaited return of the London Marathon yesterday. Yeah, get to the bit where he gets mocked. Come on. Where's the mocking bit? It doesn't actually say where he's being mocked. I was hoping for actually some solid mocking, but I don't think there was actually any solid mocking. Anyway, big storms in the way, according to the Daily Mail as well. Former Doctor Who lost everything to depression. That's really sad. Christopher Eccleston has said that he's had a really, really awful time with depression, and depression sucks. So I'm really sad for him. That's really grim. Morrison's sellout. Bosses could share £39 million jackpot for takeover. Apparently this is a deal that should worry us all. Yes. Midwife's quitting. Yes, NI is the best. What, you do not need to go anywhere else other than Northern Ireland. It's absolutely true. Yeah, the Chronofarm, you're right. Giving HRT, free HRT to the TERF generation, but not trans people. Well, I mean, if my way prescriptions would be made free. I know this is me doing kind of wishful thinking economics, but yeah, they should not be gatekeeping to HRT, but at any level at all. Meet the women who travel the world by house sitting, which sounds really lovely. I guess you have to have no ties, no pets, no kids to be able to do that. So that would be nice. What else? Oh gosh, Joan Collins' Waspish Diaries. She exposes the royal who's a crashing bore. I need to skim read it just to find out who the crashing bore is. Any guesses? Stick in the chat who your guess is for the royal that is a crashing bore. Oh, you won't guess anyway, because it's John Bowes Lion. Okay. They're all crashing bores. 8 dead after plane crashes into building. Jesus fuck. Fucking hell. So, outskirts of Milan, aircraft which took off from Milan's Linate airport heading for Sardinia crashed and hit a building. Holy shit. Okay, that's grim. PITR-cast is selling off things. She's a very posh jumble sale. Who's John Bowes Lion? Yeah, you see? Good point. I think it's something to do with the Queen Mother. Mick would know this thing. Is it like Queen Mother's something? Like one of those ones? Yeah. I don't know. Royal family. Okay. In the kind of middle bit that's all about kind of fluffy stuff, it says bling up your bath with bespoke shampoo. I buy my shampoo from Poundland. And I'm proud of it. And you can tell. Jaeger's back and it's brilliant. Okay, good to know. New labels you'd love. Go on. Okay, so the Times too controversially said black masks. The Mail is saying go on, bin black for bold bright colours. I'm in a dilemma. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if I follow the Times fashion or if I follow the Daily Mail fashion, and this will leave me sleepless. Mick loving tribute to the royals, right? Mick the royalist, right? I know he loves them so much. You can hear it in his voice every time he speaks so fondly of them. That's why he's got a coin with Prince Philip on it. I know how to mention the coins. No coins. No coins. With absolutely no tact whatsoever, the Mail decides to investigate, could a £7,500 luxury retreat really cure my long COVID? What do you reckon? Fuck's sake, just rub everyone's face in it. No coins! Jesus, you people! You don't understand the trauma that the coins bring. Got all these letters with more coins. We don't need more coins. We're not a fucking dragon's lair. Ugh. Right. Forget gel manicures. The latest beauty trend is gel extensions for your eyelashes. Fuck off. Gel extensions for your... And it begins with the sentence, do your eyelashes make you look older? I don't know. I'd never considered that I might be aged by my eyelashes. And now I've got something else to worry about. Me, a woman in the world, a woman of a certain age. I'm now worried that my eyelashes are aging me. Okay, Dr. Max. I hate Dr. Max. I join Mick in this. Dr. Max is a reductive piece of shit. What does he say? He's got a lot of sympathy for Kitty Price. I mean, yeah, lots of people have. Many physical health problems have a psychological component. Yes, that's true. No Time to Die shouldn't rely on facial disfigurement for their villains. Oh, he's not saying anything particularly egregious today. He's just sort of repeating the bloody obvious. No coins! Hydrate! Oh, I don't know how to do that. I do know how to do that because you drink, I find a bottle and hope it's water in it. If I swig this and I find out that Mick's been swigging vodka back every time. Smells bad. No, it's water. Disappointing me. Okay. Use the weapon says using a ruler to measure a girl's eyelashes to check if she's legal or not. Rod Little for the Spectator. Oh. Right, how to make a marriage last. Hint, sex really does matter. This is Mel Schilling, the psychologist behind TV's Guiltiest Pleasure, Married at First Sight UK. And here are the top tips for keeping long-term love. Don't forget to flirt. This is my number one. I know it's often talked about for dating, but it's just as important in long-term relationships. It takes work to keep that spark alive. This might be as simple as sending a little sexy text during the day, or even while doing the dishes. A little pat in the butt doesn't go amiss. Yes, I, for one, love being sexually harassed while I'm doing the dishes. What I would like more, and what would induce more feelings of desire and longing, is if my partner did the dishes for me. And actually, fair play to Mick. He's very good at doing the dishes, and sometimes I will sexually harass him. This is a joke for anyone worried that there's actual sexual harassment going on. It's not. It's completely consensual. We filled in a form and everything. Date nights do work. Date nights are tricky when you've got children to take care of, especially non-sleeping children. But remember, your intimate partners are not flatmates. You hear that, James Marriott? Your intimate partners, not flatmates. Stay out of the friend zone. I recommend scheduling date nights in at the beginning of the month, even if it's just one or two, and committing to them to ensure you regularly connect emotionally and physically. Well, yeah, me and Mick went to the pub the other night, if that counts. That was a date. It wasn't really a date, it was us drinking booze. I suppose it was a date. Talked about the kid. Guess that counts. It's fine to schedule sex. If it means scheduling, go ahead and schedule it. This will help you continue to relate to each other as a couple, not just as partners in life. I don't know quite what the difference is between a couple and partners in life, but there you go. And this is why I have Google set a reminder for sex every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. That gives us enough time to do it 3 times before the kid comes back from school. The odd blazing row is okay. Don't let conflict go under the surface, bubble along. If things get too heated, take some time out and then return to have a respectful discussion. And if they don't do that, bin them. Okay. Oh yeah, drinking together is dating in the UK, to be fair. Yes, thank you, Ashbox McNulty. I agree, it is. We're in the proximity of each other in a venue that dispenses alcohol. It's almost like the perfect evening. Sleepy Kid says use of weapons, give him heroin. Noted. Person in the room disappointed to find out her partner isn't a functioning alcoholic. I agree. C122, H122, I don't know who Dr. Max is. Dr. Max is a psychologist. I think he's a psychologist, or maybe he's a psychiatrist, which is even worse because then he has access to drugs. If he's a psychiatrist, I don't want to be part of this. I have to look it up now and say what his actual medical qualifications are. Lost it. I've got 20 minutes to get through the last 2 papers. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, Dr. Max. He's just a dick. He's just a dick. He just gives you platitudes. If you like platitudes, like, get on really well with him. Oh, here we go. He's an NHS psychiatrist. I've had quite a few dealings with NHS psychiatrists in my time. Some better than others. I'm guessing he falls into the others camp. Letters page. Oh, this is the one. Oh yeah, we'll get to the poem in a minute as well. Okay, straight to the point. Okay, straight to the point. I've got a great idea. Why not get the unemployed to fill the job vacancies, says Anthony Wells. I think he's trying to be humorous. I think. He might actually be serious because that's the level of intelligence you expect here. What else? Too good to be true, blah, 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 share the pie. Brexit betrayal, stop destabilising our economy, blah, 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 blah. The catch-22 of the HGV world. There's nothing here that's interesting in the letters. No. Someone said that they had a very nice time in hospital when they hurt themselves and that nurses are all great. That seems reasonable. Okay. So yeah, the really exciting answers to correspondence page where people who can't use Google write in. The question is, was fermented offal a popular drink in the 17th century? Fermented offal would be downright dangerous. reprised Craig Howley of Manchester. However, cock ale. Cock ale was a popular brew made from ale, sack, which is a fortified wine, raisins, and the flesh of a rooster. There you go. Cock ale. I've learned something. I would never have thought to Google cock ale. And if I did Google cock ale, I'm not entirely sure I would have got all the things that I wanted to see. Actually, no, that's not true. I probably wanted to see. Okay. Wait, where's the poem? Isn't this the one that has the poem? What? I'm not going anywhere till we read the poem. Right. God, how does he do this every day with the whole turning the pages thing? Turning the pages is really hard. I have not really appreciated Mick's skill in paper wrangling quite enough, by which I mean actually holding the flipping paper. Can't find the poem, lads. Can't find the poem. So sorry, everyone. Sounds like made up medieval history. I just find this whole medieval theory made up by papers. Yeah, you're right. Right, it's with the cartoons. Okay, I'm looking. Right, we've got the joint pain. My joints feel great thanks to Prime Cream. If you can't pay for your funeral, who will? Dunno. It's not my problem. I'm dead. Sandra switches her life back on. Oh, okay. The cartoons are here, but there's no poem. But there is the cartoons. So, John and I, Garfield says, have the perfect relationship. He does everything and I do nothing. In Chloe and Co, they are standing up drinking. I told this guy I was a jumbo pilot and he believed you. He kept saying how much he'd love to be on any plane I was flying. The man's obviously an idiot. Either that or a smart aleck. And in Fred Bassett, there are lots of small dogs making yappy noises. Fred does a massive, great big woof and then says, I'm in a no-nonsense mood today. I hear you, Fred. I hear you. Okay. Oh, we are replying to the last one. It's The Guardian. I thought there was always a poem. I can't find the poem. I'm really sorry. I don't know. I don't know what the poem is. I love Fred too much. Fred is just, I mean, he's pure. Okay, here's The Guardian. It's just everything else, but with a kind of really Guardian spin on it. So I don't even need to read this anymore, do I? Okay, Pandora Papers, The Offshore Secrets of the Rich. Quite frankly, I'm too depressed to read about it because they've all got way more money than I'll ever have. And they'll never get held to account for it, so fuck it all. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, Jesus, it's taking up the first 10, 11 pages. Of course it is, because it's our story. And then on page 12... we've got the PM says pig cull and fuel crisis part of Brexit, so no surprise there. Protesters disrupting motorways will face up to 6 months in prison or unlimited fines under plans to stop climate campaigners bringing traffic to a halt, Priti Patel will say this week. Yeah. Oh, she actually won't say, she'll say disrupting. Blah, 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 tough sentencing. Alright. It's more... stuff on social media firms should be forced to tackle racism. It's reasonable. Picture of Matt Hancock finishing the marathon. What else? Jesus, that's sad. That's awful. Girl 15 dies of COVID on the day she was due to get the vaccination. Fucking hell. Food banks say HGV crisis means smaller parcels as benefit cut hits. Jesus, this is just so bleak. There's not been one interestingly uplifting piece of news here so far, and we are 25 pages in. We tried to tell you for the rest of Europe, undoubted culprit is Brexit. The journal part has universal credit cut is the end point of welfare cruelty. Yes. Police aren't fit for purpose. Yes. Turner Prize risks becoming so worthy it pushes away the crowds. Oh, give it a break. I think it's great that they're doing like really cool collectives. So there. It's not just kids who need to ditch the iPad. No, you don't need to ditch the iPad, okay? Take it from someone who works with technology and society stuff. You don't need to ditch the iPad. Screens are fine. It's not about the screen. It's about what you do with the screen, etc., etc. Oh, I did read out what Chloe was saying. Does he not normally do that? No, he just dismisses it, doesn't he? He just goes, oh, Chloe, they're drinking and stuff. I'm here for the women. No poems on a Monday, thank you, Red Tixie. That explains it. I would read one of my own, but we haven't got all day. I would be happier if the government tackled racism. Me too, C122, H122. Okay. In Life and the Arts, Emma Bennington tries some kind of weird, looks like a giant hula hoop, but apparently it's some kind of fitness thing. And The Guardian love these kind of mad fitness things, which is why they have Zoe Williams in one of their weekend things, trying out different fitness things, and it's just generally quite tedious. Just move a bit, find something you enjoy doing and do it. I like walking around and going and buying coffee and drinking it and looking at donuts and wishing I could eat them all. It's called exercise, isn't it? No, I chuck myself in rivers. That's fun. But if I was chucking myself in rivers, Guardian style, I'd call it wild swimming, and I would own a dry rope. I don't own a dry rope. I have a towel. Anyway, Mick Wright is silencing female voices. I will do you a Middle English epic. It will be one to rival Ian Nucci's one from last week. Yep. Walking Wonderland. Regularly experiencing awe is good for minds and bodies. I experience awe every day when I look at the government and go, I cannot fucking believe they've done that. But apparently that kind of awe is not good. It has to be awe outside in nature where it's green. You probably have to have some kind of high-tech gear. And you probably have to go on a circular walk with a pub at the end for a pub lunch. Yeah, you see, that's cardiac exercise, C123, H122. Smoking gets you out of breath. Probably elevates your heart rate as well. Jason Donovan, double page interview with Jason Donovan saying, I'm a survivor and I've made mistakes. I don't know what his mistakes are because I've not read it in any detail. What else? TV pages. Oh, letters page. Okay. Oh, country diary. Right, I didn't get to do a poem. I can do the country diary. Okay. It feels as if this could be the last day of summer, as warmth and sunlight ebb away with the shortening days. Standing on the shoreline at low water, wavelets marked by a line of sunlit foam curl gently around my feet, before easing away again with an audible hiss. Beyond the reach of the waves, the wet sand, pockmarked with smooth pebbles, carries the marks where both water and wind have recently eroded the surface, leaving curious lines of interference where competing forces interact. This dynamic landscape is in a constant state of flux as sand particles drift across the beach, yet the large-scale features still retain their form over long periods of time. I'm going to skip a little bit. To the north, larger waves break in the shallow water over the sandbar, generating a low guttural roar that merges with the sound of wind moving the tall clumps of marram grass close at hand. The sun is visibly lower now, and I should really be moving on, but the warm wind from the sea and the sounds of distant surf are oddly hypnotic. I'll just give it another 10 minutes, or maybe half an hour. There you go. That was like some kind of weird Radio 4 bullshit where they get someone on PM to talk about how much they like the countryside. That is true, Ashfax McNulty. It's a truth universally acknowledged that if you don't end your walk in the country pub, it never happens. Other lies, sometimes blah 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 blah. There's a picture of a tree. Oh no, it's a picture of the Arc de Triomphe wrapped in plastic and there's a tree beside it. I only saw the picture of the tree because the page was folded over. It looked like a nice tree. But then this is the, there we go. Because good to wrap things in plastic in this world. Opera. Don't know. Subsidised foreign vowels. Outcry in Rio at images of people picking through animal carcasses. Yeah, that's pretty grim. That's why. People shouldn't have to pick through animal carcasses. After Merkel, who will take on the mantle of Europe's leader? Don't know, that's mixed territory. I don't... Himalayan rail line privatisation brings fears of eviction for shops and residents. That doesn't sound so good. Oh, French Catholic Church inquiry found 3,000 paedophiles. The surprising thing is that we're not surprised. Oh. Lack of staff raising prices and hurting businesses, survey says in the financial section. 1 million face fuel poverty and hunger this winter. Super. We just got a quote for renewing our fuel on a fixed tariff, and it was an increase of £826 for the year. Won't be doing that then. We live in a 2-bedroom flat. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to pay £2,000, which is what they're estimating. £2,000 a year for a 2-bedroom flat. And we can afford to pay our energy bills, but what happens to everybody who can't? This is just, this is my angry face. Yeah, did they only look at 3,000 price? They probably looked at 3,002. Right. Sport. Look, I'm not very good at sport. I like running and kind of, if it's long distance stuff, I follow that. But other than that, I'm really not interested. So I'm not going to do the sport because I'm like, who gives a shit? There's something about horses. I'm pretty sure that's not a very nice thing to do, to make horses run fast. Like from over jumps and stuff. I don't know. I'm not a horse expert. But there's something about football. There's a football. Jesus, so boring. Sorry. Yeah, no sport. Do you like running to the pub? Very much so, yes. I do. I used to run marathons, and then the last marathon I did, I broke my foot during the marathon, and it was sore, and so I just kind of stopped. Now I just do 5k really slowly and think about my glory days when I was actually able to run 40k without stopping. Those days are gone now. Gone. Right, okay. That whole thing where you have to do the roll call thing, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. He never told me. I'm going to click on something. What does that do? Users in chat. I've worked it out. Oh my god. It's almost like I have a PhD in computer science. I did it. I made your names appear. Okay. Here is the roll call. Hopefully I pronounce everyone's names right. Okay. Because I've heard them often enough. Okay. So today in the stream we have Ashclots McNulty, Aiton, C122, H122, Claraboy 82, Dr. Lucy Love, Arabs, Ed Bark, Everybody Loves Raimondo. How do I pronounce it? Fitopere? Did I get that right? I'm really sorry if I didn't. Get Station, Heathmore 2401, Chronotherm, Lacey Lux, Cursive Rose, Red Tixie, Snur, Stream Elements, The Royal Flush, Use of Weapons. There we go. I did it. I made it happen. What happens if I click? Okay. Right. I think I did it. I think I got through all the papers. I don't really... you should see the absolute state of the floor here. It's ridiculous. I've just got papers everywhere. And I'm going to leave them like this for him coming back so you can just see how dedicated I was and how much I couldn't turn the page into paper properly because it was just beyond my capabilities. So thank you very much for joining in the stream today. I am the person in the room standing in for Mick Wright, the Broken Bottle Boy. And yeah, it was kind of fun. I wish I'd actually had time to prepare, but I've got to go back for another meeting now. Teaching started last week, and the timetable crashed for the whole university, so my week has been spent basically trying to sort out 1,000 students and where they need to be. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, Mick will be back with much more insight than me. I don't do insight, I just do kind of like swearing at the paper, I guess. Oh, best substitute, Mick. Okay, cool. Yeah. You know, if I'd been more prepared, I might have actually read the papers first. But apparently that's cheating. So yeah. You're welcome, Get Station. Okay. No, I think what I've got to tell you to do, I've got to tell you to, he didn't tell me this either, I'm just remembering this. I've got to tell you to like, subscribe, share the newsletter, send coins. I say no coins until it comes to the bit where you're giving Mick coins personally, in which case you're allowed to do that, that's fine. It keeps me in trinkets. It doesn't keep me in trinkets. No coins. Coins, but spendable coins, not this Prince Philip bullshit. And yeah, what else? He'll be back tomorrow. I'm looking at the living room going, God, it's quite disorganized. I need to, yeah, I need to tidy up a bit. Okay, so the paper thing will be back tomorrow. No coins. Thank you all for listening. And I wanted to do that whole thing where you're going, hi, well, I've been the person in the room standing in for Mick Wright on today's show. There you go, that's my best radio voice. And yeah, see you all soon. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. Have a good day. Where's the off button? Oh, there it is. Okay, cheerio.